Morning, everybody. This is Vince with Listings to Leads, and this is our Get Started call. So on the Get Started call, I'm kind of always making the assumption that you're really new to us. And if you are new to us, please let me know in the chat panel, like, how long have you been with us? Like, how many months? And also, how did you find us? Was it Google? Was it your office? Was it your coach? How do you know about us? And with that, if you could put that in the chat panel, that'll sort of help me out to let you know what's going on. If you scroll down Listings to Leads, you're going to see a lot of information. And this is really a long list of many of the things we do. And we do a lot of things. And I think at a high level, what you want to know about Listings to Leads is we create tools to help you market listings, and we create tools to help you get listings. And it doesn't matter if you have listings or if you don't have listings, we still have tools that are going to help you. We have a lot of ways of helping you. So when you scroll down here, you can see a lot of things, and that's cool. But I'm going to take us down to the bottom, because at the bottom are our footer. It says quick links, and there's a blog there. And I want to point out that this is actually a useful blog. This has gotten way more useful. Scott's, got kind of a strategy of sharing what's going on. We put a lot of our recorded webinars here, but if you poke through here, you're gonna kind of see two major concepts. One is, leads with phone numbers in 20 seconds, which is our Facebook ad generator. So we've got this awesome tool. I'm gonna show it to you in a bit, that helps you run ads on Facebook very, very easily in 20 seconds. I mean, look at this guy, 490 buyer leads with phone numbers. I mean, I can tell you the details in 26 days of October. That's an unreal number, right? That's crazy. But the only reason he generated that many leads is because he put in around $500, right? He has multiple listings, so he's marketing multiple listings throughout the month. And he's got a lot of listings, he's got a team. That's the kind of lead gen he needs to grow his business. He's super excited, right? And he knows, like, this is awesome. He's dropping them in CRM, he's round robining and stuff, and that's all working out. The other big theme you're going to keep hearing us talk about is that we have great tools to get listings. And this guy here, Chris, is he kind of showcases our #1 tool for getting more listings. I'm going to show you that tool in a couple of minutes. But that's kind of it. I recommend that you do, if you're new to us, that you do look at a few of these things. You'll see some recorded webinars. You'll see the top 7 seller lead gen thing, which is important. And this one right here, I'm going to give to you right now. It says Realtor Stuck Inside with Time on Your Hands. And this blog post basically almost has everything our website has. All right. It shows you how to market listings, which I'm going to show you how to market listings on this call. It shows you how to run a Facebook ad in 3 easy steps. And guess what? I'm going to show you that too. And then it's got this call here about the top 7 seller lead gen tools. This covers actually all of our tools that capture seller leads. So if you want more listings, this is working right now, right in this environment, right in this tight inventory. These tools are all working. And then what do you do if you don't have any listings? Like, what do you do with our system? Number 4, I like this one. Even if you have listings or if you don't have listings, there's some really awesome free and cheap ideas to get more eyeballs on you, to recognize you're a realtor, and also to capture leads. If you invest in video, like a videographer or a Matterport, this is a good video to watch down here. So I'm going to give this to you right now. And I'm going to ask, I see some answers that came up there. Yeah, so I asked, like, okay, so I just sent this to everybody, this page, and I recommend it. It's probably blinking on your GoToMeeting page there. I recommend that you take that and you save it, because there's some important stuff. Okay, and Diane, welcome. You've been with us a week. So this page is definitely, it's useful. It's useful to everybody because, even if you were a client for 6 months, Lord, I know so many agents that use like 1 or 2 tools. And actually, there's about 5 or 6 that I'm going to blast through here. And you should be using at least all of those tools. Okay. So let's go over and look at Facebook. Because on Facebook, we have a mastermind group. And it's a private group. And if you're not in it, if you're not in it, you can't find it. So that's kind of an important thing. It's kind of this weird private group. But it's our mastermind group. It's where Scott and I share what's going on. It's where our clients are also sharing what's going on, right? So they may have questions. This guy here is telling everybody how he is generating listings with our system right now. And actually, I'm going to pull him up because I showed you the blog post just a minute ago. And I was saying that there are kind of 2 themes. One is, Facebook advertising, and the other is a tool to get more listings. And Chris here in the last summer, which, horrible inventory across the country. God knows if you had lockdowns or whatever, but this guy comes in the mastermind group and says, listen, I got 5 listings in 3 months in my own neighborhood. So he was a new client, but he's been a realtor. So he wants to be the realtor in his neighborhood, right? Less driving. Why not? He lives in a good neighborhood. He wants to build that business, just like any farm area that you have. And this guy comes in here and says, listen, I got 5 listings in my own neighborhood in 3 months. And the video is cool, but actually it's not the video that's necessarily doing it. What was doing it is he says, I send out letters every other week to our neighbors who have owned their homes for 5 years or more. Once they opt in on the home valuation landing page, I consistently contact them every week with phone calls, bomb, letters via mail, and letters left at the door. So that's a print letter. And that's the #1 tool to get listings. And I don't mean collecting addresses, I mean getting listing contracts. The #1 tool is actually inside of our system, and it has nothing to do with Facebook, right? It's a print letter. So I'm going to show that to you in a minute. But that's in the mastermind group, and this is awesome that our clients share this kind of stuff with our other clients so that you can leverage it, right? So let's see here. We will receive the recording. Veronica, I'm not going to be sending this to you. Maybe GoToMeeting sends you a link, but this recording will be in the mastermind group. Okay. So like I said, the mastermind group, if you go to the navigation bar on the bottom left of your account, there's a support page, and just ask them to bring you into the mastermind group. Okay. So the mastermind group is great. I would definitely check out what Chris said last August. I would also check out what Chris just said. We were looking at it just a minute ago. Let's see here. What he said just about a couple weeks ago. Because he is like real time telling people, this is what I'm doing right now to get listings. And he's getting listings, right? So if you want more listings, I would check out what he's doing. He was gracious enough to put that note in there last August, and he's right here again telling us this is what I'm doing now. So that's kind of the story. The mastermind group is awesome. The blog is super helpful. And then you got to get into your account. So let's look here. We got David on the call with us, and I want to show you what your profile looks like. So when you log in, down at the bottom left will be your profile, and there's some things that you want to make sure are in line. You want to make sure your time zone is correct. Down here you'll see contact details. So that's his core email, and it says send leads and tools to. Now you might have an assistant that you want to send just the leads to, or just the tools to, right, to the assistant. So you put their email in there, you say, hey, send the marketing tools. We do create a bunch of tools automatically and we send them to you. If you want them to go somewhere else, you can, right? Down here, you may or may not see this. Yeah, in this case, we don't even, I don't see it. That's really weird. We usually have some, maybe that's because you're in Canada, David. It might be because you're in Canada. We can't see your MLS details. But let's go over here to preferences. If you have reviews on Zillow, check the box and make sure your email address matches. David, do you have reviews on Zillow? I'm going to assume that you do because you've got that checked. Let's go over here. It says click my reviews. This is a lead gen signature inside of your profile. It has all your favorite lead gen links, which I'll show you. It also says click for reviews. So let's click that and let's just see what's gonna happen here. This should take us to what we call the client review website. And David, you're gonna answer that question. You need to uncheck that. Yeah, because that, if you check it and you don't have reviews, well, then it gives you a blank page like that, which doesn't make a ton of sense. So let's uncheck that and save it. But still, that lead gen signature is pretty cool. You can copy this here for Gmail or other email platforms, and you can embed this so that every time you send something out, you'll have links like these. So what does it say when we click on Scarborough Homes for Sale? So on Scarborough Homes for Sale, that's weird. I think you try to put in a mini link, which doesn't always work, obviously, but this one is pointing to houseandcondopro.com. So this is pointing to his website, which definitely makes sense, right? So if the reason lead links are important is you might have some core areas that you always want to be working in. You probably got, right, 2 or 3 farm areas that are important to your core business. You want a link that you can click on at any time. And notice that your URL shortener here, David, is not working out too well. So I would go to your lead links, which is right here, and check that out. You see wherever it says shortcut, those don't seem to be working too well. But anything that's going directly to your website seems to be going pretty well. So that's, yeah. So what I will tell you is this, one more thing about lead links. I actually think it's really important. It's one of those things that agents don't even know exist, but let me talk to you about where I am, right? Or let's just say where David is. David, one of his core towns where it's pointing, like, I'm just gonna say Scarborough, right? Because I can pronounce that, Scarborough. If Scarborough is his #1 link or #1 town, he might want a link that says Scarborough Homes for Sale, just like this. And he would want it to point to his website, right? That would make sense. But also, you know, we all are looking for homes really that correspond to our budget. And what that means is, like, I live in Lafayette, there are $5 million homes here. And guess what? I can't afford that. But the homes that fly off the shelf here are like 800,000, 900,000. So if that's the case and I'm selling property and I know that those homes go fast because people are buying them, I want to create a link that says Scarborough Homes under 800,000 or whatever your number is, right? You put it in the link title and then you put the link ideally to that results page on your website right here, and you check that box. When you check that box, it makes it a default link. So let's go over here and let me show you what that means. You see the signature, and you know that some of these are broken. So, but all these links are active and they're showing up on all of his tools. So that's not cool because that shortener is like not helping him out. So I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna deselect these ones that say shortener. And you can go fix them when you're ready, David. But I just want to show you what happens when you turn that off, right? So he's got search all homes for sale, which is pointing to his site, and where would you like to live, which is pointing to his site. So if I save this, and now I go back to his lead gen signature, now it's a little bit tighter, right? There's not that client review thing there, and these links are right here. So David, let me ask you a question. What's your #1 town where you do business? Is it Toronto? And if so, what's the #1 price point where the things fly off the shelves? Yeah, Norbert, you don't have an agent link because I am in, I'm going to just do Toronto. Okay. So let's just create a link right now for David. Norberto, I am logged in as like an admin. When you log in as an agent, you're not going to see all of our agents. So that's why. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to just create a couple links here so that you can see how to create them. And notice on his lead gen signature, it looks like this. So if I click on lead links, and I'm going to say add lead link here, it has 2 spaces. I'm going to put a direct link to his website, and I'm going to say Toronto homes for sale. And then I'm going to say Toronto homes under 1.2 mil. Okay, I'm just going to put it like that. I'm going to check these 2 so that they are default links for him. And so let's go see now what the lead gen signature looks like, right? I go over here. It says Toronto homes for sale. Let me get this weird box out of my vision. Toronto homes for sale, Toronto homes under 1.2 million, and search all homes and where would you like to live, right? So if I click on this, now it's pointing right over to David's website. And that's where he wants, right? And ideally, David, this would be, drop me on a results page of looking at the homes under 1.2 million, but that's too much detail right now. I just want you guys to know that that's there and that price points like that are really important. And you'll notice that David's got all these things out here. It says you can follow us on Facebook, right? You can follow us on Instagram and stuff like that. That's right here under social media accounts. So these are little links to join me right here. Okay, so there's also some other important stuff. You see this one here that says auto posting? This is super important. I recommend all of you turn it on because, David, if you don't have a LinkedIn account or you don't use it, go set one up anyway, because the way that we auto post to Twitter and LinkedIn, it's going to allow you, even if you don't use it, to capture leads, right? And then it's going over here to Facebook. Let's click on preferences for listings and customize for each status. Yeah, I'm not really too fond of all that. I'm going to try and get rid of this stuff. But you need to make sure that this information is right here in this box. If you come here for the first time and this box is empty, click this green button where it says copy and paste, and it'll push this language here and then save it. And David, I'll just tell you one thing, and I'm telling this to all of you. David, do you have any kind of like brand or URL or, you know, name that you're using, like David the Great or something, anything like that? You would put it right here. DYG Homes. Yeah, there you go. There. So I'm going to say right here, DYG Homes, hashtag DYG Homes. Every time we auto post, it will always include that. So if you're trying to build a brand, your team name or you, the Rockstar Realtor, I recommend you add that. That's right here in social media auto posting. We're still in your profile. It's a preferences for listings. I also want to talk about something else. I kind of glazed by it. It's under preferences, and this is super important for all of you. This is super important. You see this lead capture form? This is, some of our tools present a form. You're going to see it in a few minutes. And it has all these options. I recommend that you turn off phone field, show phone field. I definitely recommend that you turn off make phone field required. Now I'm going to show you a way to get leads with phone numbers, but requiring them on our tools is kind of the kiss of death. It's just, you just lose all lead gen when you do that. So I'm going to save that. And David, you know that that's going. I'll kind of show you where that is in a bit. So let's see. We've done auto posting, we've gone here. Another thing is the CRM integration. So David has hit an email here. David, what's your CRM? And you'll notice that we've got APIs for Boomtown, Contractually, Follow Up Boss, Real Geeks. And if we don't, there are hundreds of CRMs out there. They usually give you a unique email address where if you send a lead there, it will, let's see here. I have to still get in touch with the website. Okay, so you don't really have a CRM, is that right, David? So in this case, you may want to get rid of this, right? Because what I was trying to say at the back end. Oh, you do. Okay, you got it. Okay. So just so you know, and David, you should pay attention to this one clearly. You're telling us to send leads to this email address, okay? And guys, I want you all to understand this. Before we had Follow Up Boss, well, I'll tell you, there's a company called Realty Juggler, right? And let's just say David there had an account with Realty Juggler. They would give him his own unique email address. Said like, David at realtyjuggler.net, something like that. And they would tell him every time you get a lead, if you send it to that email address, we're going to automatically sweep it into your CRM and we're going to trigger the drip campaign, right? Which is what you want. You want the automation. So in this case, David's got lead forwarding there. And let me show you this. Some things don't work. Yeah, okay. So let me just show you something, David. This is for you in particular, but just in case any of you do this, notice it's going to dyghomes@gmail. And if I go here to agent details, it says send leads and tools to dyghomes at Gmail. What that means is that David's going to get 2 leads. He's going to get a copy of each lead every time he gets a lead. You may not want that, David. So I recommend that you turn off in CRM integration. You take that email address out of it. Okay. So that's that. That's how you set up your profile. So inside the profile are after that, once you've got that set, you don't sort of have to mess with that anymore. So there's 3 things that I want you to be thinking of very clearly and remembering about listings to leads. Listing marketing, landing pages, and Facebook ads. These are the 3 major, environments that you need to be taking advantage of. So let's go over here. Now this is different, but it's different from what you would look at. But these are David's listings in his account right now. Okay. So what I want you to know is, what do you do? Right now, you remember I told you that there's a blog post that would tell you all the things that you should do to market a listing. It's the first video. And that video is going to tell you that you should market your social media, your seller's social media. Now I'm going to check the box. Notice I'm putting a blue check mark in here and it's adding a date. That's all it does. It actually doesn't do the function. I'm hoping we get rid of this soon because it's confusing. The e-flyer for your database and underprint marketing is a very important tool. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, I know these are borrowed. Yeah. So in this case, these aren't David's listings, but he's borrowing them so that he can advertise them and get buyers, right? So let's click this green button over here on the right and open up this work area. And let's go check out what we've created here, right? So we automatically create this tool. We can click view to see it. And it's a listing, this is what we call a listing landing page. Now, David, this sure looks to me like a commercial property. So I'm not going to get into that too much, but that's what it looks like to me, unless this is kind of home to people living in Canada. But when you click on this button here, continue with Facebook, that's going to grab my name and email, or whoever clicks on it, and it's going to give it to you, the agent, right? So let me do that. And David, if you know I'm not buying in Canada anytime soon, I'm going to click this, and then it's going to say thank you. And then it's going to drop me on the single property website where all the information is. And notice that there are all those old broken links, those short URL links on the left. So we really don't want those. But I want to kind of point out the single property website because there are some important functions here. Now, this home is for sale, right? So you're going to assume we're after buyers, right? That would make sense. That's why he borrowed it. He's out there marketing it. But I want you to understand that if you scroll down our tools, you're going to see multiple call to actions to get your own home value. And we do this because we know what you know is that many home buyers actually own a home. Maybe they're just researching for weeks or months and they just want to see what's going on in the market. And then you're asking them while you're marketing a home, hey, would you like your free home value, right? You can go down and you're going to see there's another big banner. What's your home value, you know? So this home is for sale. One more thing, it says follow this home. This is going to pop up at some time and it's going to say, what's your name and email? But it also asks the same question. Do you own a home? And if somebody, watch this when I click yes. Another question pops up. Do you need to sell it before you buy a new one? Right? This is really important information. Maybe people want to downsize, right? Or maybe they're just moving because there's, you know, something else going on. So you want to know that, and that's what our call to actions are all about. We want to make sure that if there's a chance of you getting a listing, we're going to help you get it. All right. Now I'm going to click over here real quick, and this is a little bit like I'm going to click edit, and I'm going to click lead links. Remember all those lead link things we were talking about earlier? I'm going to click this button that says sync with account links. And what does that do? Well, it syncs with the account links. And what does that mean? Well, that means if I refresh this page now, David doesn't have all of his broken links. Now he's only got a few, right? Toronto Homes for Sale, pointing to his website. That's how you want it to work, right? It's pretty clean. So this is a great tool. We started here. Let's go back to view listings. I know we're jumping around pretty fast. These are the listings in your account, and I had said you need to open up that task list, and let's go back. I think I must have did the second one, 14th on Wood Duck Island, yeah. And I said do these 4 things. And what I want to point out is David has auto posting turned on. So he didn't, even though he's got this in his email and he could share it himself, we posted this for him automatically. So in this little box, it says it was auto posted on the 14th, yesterday. If I click on it, it's going to take me to Facebook. So let's see it. This is on his business page, okay? And I just want to point out that it's got emojis, it's got hashtags. It doesn't have that DYG home because we added that after the fact. But it's got a good thing here. It's got a nice colorful banner. And if we click on that, post, it's going to take us here. And now you know that this is going to capture leads and give them to David, right? So this auto posting captures leads. Now I want to show you something about Facebook. And this you want to know. I'm hoping you all have a business page. This is one of David's business pages. And he's got 218 people following it. And I just want you to know now, we can't see this. Like you and I on this call right now, we can't see how many people are looking at his posts, right? But I can tell you, because I know a little bit about Facebook, that only 5% of the total number of people that follow this will see anything. So that means about 10 people, maybe 12, will see anything he puts on this. And that's the algorithms, right? That's Facebook, because it's not really, they're not interested in showing your post to 218 people. Because I'm not David, and this is not my page, I'm missing a button right here that you may have seen before on your accounts. It says boost. Facebook business is about making money, and they want David to boost this. And when he boosts it for like 20 bucks, 2,000 or 3,000 people are going to see it, right? And then a bunch of those people are going to click it and he's going to get leads. I want to just stop you right now. Stop, even though you hear me saying the word boost, I don't want any of you to be boosting anymore, and I'll tell you why in a couple of minutes. Basically, it's complicated and it doesn't always work. That's what you just need to know. And David just got the lead. So you got the lead from me, David, right? That was, it says Vincent Mays or something like that. But that's just something I want you to know that, and what I don't want you to be thinking is you need to pay Facebook for likes. That's a really awesome way of just wasting your money. And Facebook will offer it to you to do that all the time. You don't need people to like it. You just need to be able to run ads with that business page. And I'll show you where you do it inside listings to leads in a minute. Okay, so we got the first thing done. If you're like David, we're going to do it for you automatically. We're going to get it to your social media automatically. The second one is for the homeowner. Okay, it says seller social media. This really generates high quality buyer leads and listing leads and referrals. All right. So this tool is kind of, when you get it in your email, it's a bit complicated, and it says stuff like Sally Seller, and it just is like dorky. And I'm hoping this year we're going to clean it up, but you absolutely must use it. So I'm working inside the system. You actually receive that as an email, and we can send it automatically as an email, right? So let's imagine, there's my dog buddy. Let's imagine that I own this home, and that tool is for the seller, and David forwarded it to me and said, hey, Vince, you know, we got your home listed, it's in MLS. Would you please put this on your wall? Because we want as many people to know about this as possible. Now, in David's case, he borrowed this listing, so it's not really, you know, you wouldn't do this if you borrowed a listing. But it's still the same sort of story, right? I would be posting this because David called me for 5 seconds and said, hey, would you put this on your wall? Because we want to get the most offers we can and the most money we can for your property, right? And it says our home is just listed. And David at DYG Real Estate created this many tools. Check it out, leave a comment, right? Now you can, you know, guarantee that if you click on that thing, there's going to be something that pops up to capture a lead for you, right? So it's a really good lead gen deal, but it's not so much about capturing leads as much as it's about getting referrals. Because if your client puts this on their Facebook page, it's not a paid ad. You know, a paid ad expires in 4 days or 7 days or 30 days. This just sits there forever. And this is your client saying our home's for sale and telling all their friends and family on Facebook, where they're sharing pictures of their family and all the food they eat and their pets like Buddy. And they're saying, hey, our home is for sale and David is our realtor. And that stays there until the day they delete it, which most people don't even delete it. So their relatives and their colleagues and their friends log into Facebook one day and they go, oh, my friend sold their home, my cousin sold their home. Oh, cool, I click on it, they become a lead, and they already know that you are their realtor, so it's a pretty high quality lead, all right? That tool is for your seller's social media. It's really useful. There's also another tool in here called the eFlyer for your database. This is for your CRM. And if you've got a CRM with hundreds or thousands of leads in it, you need to copy this. There's a button up here that says copy code. When you copy it, I'm just going to click this button here. It copies some really funky looking HTML, right? That weird stuff. You copy that weird stuff and you go over to your MailChimp or your LionDesk or your Follow-Up Boss or whatever you're using as CRM, and you paste it in, you click the button so that it looks graphic like this, and then boom, right? Instant update. This home is for sale. And if you click on that picture or on that link in the email, we're going to capture you as a buyer lead. But we always say when that home is sold, it's going to affect your home value. So click here or click on that graphic to get your free home value. Well, what else do we have? We have that awesome signature that David can now start capturing leads on his website there too. And that's one flyer that we recommend you use every week on your database, especially if you have a few hundred or a few thousand people. You need to get that out there. This is a lot more effective than the standard drip campaign stuff that companies, CRM companies, are creating. Just copy, do it once a week. And then the last thing we really suggest is under print marketing. And if you're bored already, please shake your head and look here, because under print marketing is the nearby homeowner letter. And this is the #1 letter, the #1 tool for getting listing leads in the area. Now, David, am I correct? Like, that is a commercial property that we've been looking at here today. Is that right? Let's see here. Yeah. So typically, you can market commercial stuff here, right? But let me explain to you what this is meant to be like, because it's really more for residential. It says, hey, hope you're having a good week. Just want to let you know that this home is listed, right? And go type this in on your computer. So this is a print piece of paper that you're mailing or you're door knocking. And it says, when that's sold, it's going to affect your home value. So get your free home value. So this is a little bit wonky because this is commercial, and I don't know where you're door knocking it or mailing it. So that's not really the other one is not commercial. Okay, so yeah, but you kind of get the idea. A lot of our clients take they print this 100 times and they door knock it, right? Or they take let me show you. They take it and they put it, what am I looking for here? Please. Give me a second, I'm gonna get us back to our mastermind group. I'm a little bit lost here, yeah. And they door knock it or they're mailing it. So I know with COVID, you can't, some parts of the country you can't door knock. But other people like Chris, that guy I was showing you earlier, actually right now, I think he's just saying, I've been knocking 12 doors and I got 2 listing appointments with that letter, right? But before that, last summer, when he probably had more of a lockdown, he mailed it, right? And I'm also going to show you Dustin Fox, which if you've never heard of us talking about this guy's over in the Maryland area. And Dustin took that same letter and mailed it out to 250 homes, right? And in 250 homes, he did it first class, and he ends up pulling 10 listings out of this area, 250 homes around the home that he had just sold, right? So some people mail just listed, some people mail open houses, some people do just sold. But I think the one thing I want you to remember is this thing, if you put it in bulk mail and it looks like junk mail, it's just going to get tossed out and not opened. This woman here, Alicia, was coming in every month and saying, "Guy, every time I mail this thing out, I get more listings." And she kind of heard me say this, what I just told you, is like, make sure this thing stands out, that it looks personal. So she's using these kind of canary yellow envelopes and those weird, lime green ones. But she's basically just saying, like, I mean, there's somewhere down here where she says, I got 3 listings in one neighborhood. Yeah, right here. 3rd listing in 6 months, same subdivision. That subdivision only has 50 homes in it, 50. So if you've got a small area that you're trying to develop, you need to figure out, how can I get that letter? Can I borrow a listing like David did and then use it and get it out in the neighborhood? That's a really great thing to do. So that's the listing marketing side, okay? Those are the 4 things. We've got great blog tools. You can post to Craigslist. We auto post a virtual tour to YouTube. And then I'm going to show you the Facebook stuff in a minute, okay? So any questions on that, on what we've been talking about, setting up your profile? I'm going to log out here and log into my demo account so I can talk about landing pages and Facebook ads. But any questions so far? Let's let's go here, let's go here, let's go here, let's go here. Do these work in Canada? Well, everything I've shown you, David, works in Canada. Yeah. So we just talked about how to market listings, right? Now, I do want to point out, this is a really important thing about listings to leads. And we typically get your listings from our partner called List Hub, but we don't always get updates. And one of the more important things to know, and I know that homes sell really fast, is that you want to market your homes multiple times with our platform. The same home multiple times. You want to do it when it's just listed, right? You want to do it when it's just, maybe when it's active, if it's sitting a long time, when it's under contract or pending. And like this one is under contract, I could change it to just sold. You definitely want to do that. And I'll show you why in a moment. But, well, let's talk about, remember that I have a property that's sold here. You remember that tool I was showing you that said it was for the seller's social media? And I was showing you the one that's in David's account. Well, here's the one in my account, right, for a sold property. So let's talk about what that looks like when a property is sold. And it's really important because I talk to agents every day, and they often think that when their property is sold, they have nothing to do. Like they don't have a way of getting marketing, advertising, right? And that's a really big mistake, especially if they got an account with listings to leads, because let me show you the tool for the seller when the home is sold, right? Again, once you toggle that and trigger it over to listings to sold on the listings page, we're going to send you this email, and it says, and you should forward it to your client, call them. It says, our home is sold and we want to recommend you at your office for doing an excellent job. Here is your phone number and email in front of all my friends and family and colleagues on Facebook to see forever, right? Or until one day when I decide to pull that off, which probably never happens. So this is an awesome testimonial, pre-written, sent to you. And you just forward it and call your client for 5 seconds. Say, hey, we just sold your home. I'm excited. I hope you love your home. Would you please put this over on your wall for me, right? Just to announce that. If you sold somebody's home, they're probably pretty happy with you. So that's the seller's tool when it's sold, right? But I also want to talk about the ads thing here, because you remember when I showed you, let's see if this is David's page. I showed you David's page, and I said, hey, David has like 100. And oh, cool. This is really new. You see this page popped up and it says retargeting. I would log in and I would look at this. Retargeting is very powerful. Let me just stop a little bit about Facebook ads. So let me ask this question. Have you all run ads on Facebook? There are a lot of you. Have you all run ads on Facebook? If you give me a yes or no, and then also let me know, is that successful? Like there are agents that can generate hundreds of leads, and there are agents that can generate 1 or 0. So where are you guys? You feel like you're good with Facebook, or you kind of don't really know about it? If you put it in the chat panel, I appreciate it, because I'm going to tell you, yeah, David's 50-50 there. Retargeting here, which is what this page is telling me, which just got launched. I didn't even know this morning that this was a live deal. And I would recommend that you watch this, because here's why. When you capture a lead for the first time, well, that's awesome. They saw one of your ads, they clicked on it, they're a lead. Well, when you retarget, you're sending ads back to that same person. So the next ad, you send it back to them. So if they caught you once and they saw DYG Homes, as the sponsor, they're familiar with David's business page. So that's really the point. I'm sure know that, not everybody buys the first time they see any ad anywhere in any industry. They need to see you 5, 10 times, maybe more. And with retargeting, that's what you're doing. And so I'm excited to see that. I'm not going to click activate because I don't even know what's going on, and we'll go down. But there is a button here that says learn more, and I recommend that you guys check that out. So here, I paid for them, but I think it's questionable. So Diane's not really sure what that's all about, right? About Facebook, like, and so let's talk about Facebook advertising right here. This is my ads page. And when you come to the ads page, it won't look like this. If you come here for the first time, there's going to be a big blue button that says connect to Facebook. There's also going to be a video right here showing you what happens when you click that blue button. I recommend that you watch the video and then click the blue button. It's really simple. It takes about 30 seconds to connect your Facebook ad account. And once you've done that, these 3 green buttons up here, create a listing ad, create a landing page ad, and create a PDF report ad, okay? Now, let's click create a listing ad. And if I was in David's account, that listing, his 2 listings would be right here, right? So you choose what listing you want, you leave it right here on lead ads, don't mess with traffic, and click create ad, all right? Now, you know, a few of you have run ads, and you know that there are 3 pages on Facebook to complete an ad, right? And, you know, God bless you if you can figure it out, because it is not easy, and it's a great place to waste money. But right here, we've got 3 things you need to do. Create the form, type in location, like Toronto, and publish. That's it. There are not 3 pages, there are 3 items here. This is what the ad looks like over here on the right, right? And if you want, you can customize it. It says just listed in Auburn. You know, down here on the bottom left, it says, I think it says down here, or where is it? Oh, right here, just listed in Auburn on the left. I could say new kitchen, right? New granite kitchen. And if I type it in the left, it shows up on the box up here on the right. So if you want to customize a little bit, go right ahead. You can choose what business page and Instagram page you want it to go to, but click create form and then click create form right here, and then type in the location like Toronto, and you might want to expand the radius to like 30 miles or something like that, right? And then here you can do custom audience, but I'm not going to get into that. And then you can publish right here. That's how easy it is to create an ad on Facebook. Now I want to point out, in case you don't know this, you notice that it's 35 bucks for 7 days. That's about $5 a day. And it's a bit of a moving target across the country and across Canada and across the world. But in the United States, a buyer lead costs about $1. Sometimes it's less, like 55 cents, and sometimes it's more like $1.75. I don't really know what it is because I don't know where you live, but that's kind of the thing, is like buyer leads can cost around $1. If you're looking for seller leads and you're doing a home value ad or something like that, well, those leads can cost like $5 or $6. So I just want you to know that when you're putting money here, it's not going to use up unlimited amount of your money. Your limit is set right there. In this case, 35 bucks. And every time that somebody clicks on the ad and they give you their information, they're going to chew off some of that money until that money runs out, and then the ad stops showing. Okay. So this is a really, really important area that you should be using. And here's why. If you remember, I was talking about David's listings, and I said we're auto posting to his business page with 200 people. And I said that only 10 people are going to see that, right? So he's got a post on his page that would look almost exactly like this ad, but only 10 people will see it. But if you write an ad right here and you put 35 bucks in Toronto, probably 3,000 people will see it. They won't all click it. They'll use his money at some point, but his brand, notice mine is sponsored by Listings to Leads. His is going to be sponsored by the DYG, you know, business page, right? So you're building that brand on Facebook where everybody sees it, and when people click on it, they capture leads. Your cost is $12 to $19 for a buyer lead, David. Is that what you're telling me? Jiminy crickets, that's horrible. I'm really sorry to hear that. Wow. Okay. So they deduct from your ad each time somebody clicks. Yes, that's right. That's right. And so, you know, you've got your budget, you're setting it right there. You're welcome, Diane. You're setting right there. So you're not spending an unending amount of money. It's just, you know, 35 bucks or 25 bucks or wherever you set it. Okay. So that's how you run an ad. I do recommend that you run one ad about one listing every week, even if you're borrowing that listing. Okay. So I'm going to stop and take a sip of coffee, and I'm going to give you the Facebook strategy next that you should all be doing. Okay. So I just said you should all run an ad every week on any listing at any status. You know how to change the status because I just showed you on the listings page. You can say, well, this thing is not just listed anymore. It's under contract. So you can change the status and you can go run an ad again. You could say, and you know what? If you help somebody buy a home, and that means you know it's sold. So you could enter a listing and say it's just sold for the selling agent. Okay. Which that I guess means it's you were helping the buyer or something. Yes, I think that's what it means. But then you market it, and that's those sold ads, those later stage ads pending and under contract are designed to get you more listings. Let's see, do we have questions here? Okay, yeah. Okay. In the page ads, can you go over on or off? Sure, yes. So on my ads, I have, you'll notice that, let me click out of here, that it says on or off. It says off. Now, all of mine are off because these are old ads. But your ads, when you run them, they should be on. They should be on in like 15 minutes. And you may find that, you know what, this ad's been running for 3 days or 2 days, and I'm not getting any leads whatsoever. There's something wrong, right? There's just something wrong with what you're doing. You could just toggle the button right here and turn it off. That's all it is. Your ads will sit here. You can also click here and say view the ad. This eyeball down here shows you how many people reached. So when I was talking about David's auto post and I said only 10 people will see it, in this case, 302 people saw it, right? But remember I said if he runs a $30 ad, probably 3,000 people will see it. Well, this is where you see it, where it's the eyeball here is reached. The cost per click is $3. The cost per click here is almost $6, $6.25 here, right? So that's what all that is saying there, all right? So your listing ads sit here, all your ads sit here, right? So what I also want to tell you, my kind of high level Facebook strategy is, like, here's an open house. What if I borrowed it? I tell this to any green agent, and what I mean by green is you're new, but you could also do this if you don't have any listings. You need to have a minimum ad budget. Now, David, out there in Canada, you might need to change these numbers, but I'm going to tell you what I tell people here in America, which is you should be running a $20, not a $35 on any listing, and you just change it to 20 like that. Notice when I change it to 20, it gives me this red scary message. That's because Facebook wants a minimum of $5 a day for an ad. So I'm going to make this a 4-day ad for 20 bucks, type in my location and create the form and publish. And that would be it. So what I'm saying is run a $20 ad every week for 4 days. Borrow the listing if you have to. Doesn't matter what status. During the same week, then run either a landing page ad or a PDF report ad. Let's click on the PDF report ads first. We have 25 PDF reports for buyers, and we have 25 PDF reports for sellers. Okay, and that's awesome for you because you don't even need listings, right? You just decide do I want more listing leads or do I want more, do I want more buyer leads? So that's kind of the deal there. right? So run a $30 ad anytime, during the week. I think, run it Friday through Sunday, kind of, right? On either a PDF report or on a landing page like this, right? And so there are a lot of landing pages. You could do an ad on home values, on down payer assistance, new construction, and what you're doing is remember when I said every time you run an ad, about 2,000 to 3,000 people will see it. So you're changing up what you're writing, right? Sometimes, hey, I got an open house. Hey, we got something just listed. We just sold something. Or would you like to know about new construction? Or would you like to know about first-time home buyers or new, loan incentive things, right? So all those things, you're running 2 ads every week, one for 20 bucks, one for 30 bucks. That's $50 every week, and there's usually 4 weeks every month, so that's $200 a month. If you're somebody with more listings, well, you need to increase that budget. If you've got an ad, if you've got a listing, like a couple weeks ago, this agent said, hey, I got this like super awesome multi-million-dollar listing. I really want people to know about it. I said, well, go create the ad, right? And create the ad, but now, and she was like north of Washington, D.C. I was like, type in the city, but expand the radius. I said, do you want people to know? She's like, yeah, I want everybody to know that I can sell this kind of property. Expand your radius and increase your budget. You're going to get more leads, but more people are going to see it. So you got to kind of think of radius and budget in that way too. Can you add your own PDF on those types of ads? Valentina, not there, but let me show you where. So that leads us into the landing page discussion. Okay. So before I go there, I just want to give you the story one more time. You should, of all the things you do, and I've shown you some things on the listings of how to market listings. I'm going to show you some things on the landing page. You should all be running 8 ads a month, one about a listing and one about either a landing page or a PDF report. Right? Now, in our PDF report ads, it's our own, the ones that we've written. They are branded to you. They have your contact information. They have your logo. But, we've written. So Valentina there has some really cool PDF report, right? That you got, what's it called there? What's it called, Valentina? What's the name of that report? So she's got a report that she wants to give away, but she wants contact information, right? So what do? This is our landing page section. And these 3 that have stars, we automatically create for you. So we have a down payer assistance one, right? And you can customize all this. You can add a timer. You can change the language. You can change the video. But that's sitting there waiting for you. We've got this new construction. This is sitting there waiting for you. You can customize all this as well. And one thing about new construction, some of our clients will go out and talk to developers, especially if there's a developer with like a bunch of stuff coming on, right? And say, hey, can I market these and sell them and get paid on them, kind of thing? And they're like, yeah, sure. Well, then you say, well, do you have any video content, or do you have some pictures? Can I take some pictures of the model home? And then you kind of build your landing page to market that particular thing, and then you change the language to speak to that, right? So you can do that, right? Here's one here. This is a custom landing page for buyers, and you'll notice that this has a video of a Toll Brothers project, right? So this is a good example of creating something like that. Now, I don't recommend creating a custom buyer landing page for a free list of homes for sale. For instance, like we've been talking about Davids County, he's in Toronto. You don't want to create a landing page like sign up for a free list of Toronto homes for sale, because nobody's going to fill that out, because everybody knows right now that if I want to look at Toronto homes, I can just go to the internet and search that all day long and see that all over. But if you've got a niche, if you've got a specific kind of home, that you're working with, well, then a custom landing page can work, right? And that might be waterfront homes, that might be golf course properties, that might be horse properties, that might be even a neighborhood, like a super, exclusive kind of neighborhood. You want to create something custom for that. Okay, I get it. But not like a wide St. Louis homes for sale. That just ain't going to work, right? And so, but you can customize these things. This is super custom. So, I asked Valentina, she has a great PDF report that you created. So I don't know what it's for, but up here, there's a button. We should really label this. Like, she can create a custom landing page with free report for buyers or for sellers, right? And Valentina, what town are you in? What city? You can let's just assume it's for sellers. You just type in the name of the town, right? And if that town is, oh yeah, there's Danville, right? And you click, yeah, add landing page. And at this point, we're gonna drop you on the editor, right? Oh, Fort Lauderdale, yeah. And it's gonna drop you on the editor, and you can change this. So you're gonna notice that we're gonna give you some generic background. I don't think there's anything in Fort Lauderdale that looks like that, but maybe that's the case. But you probably want something that looks like that. And you can upload the image here, where it says upload image on the left. You can take off the shading here, right? And you can save it here. And then over here where it says custom page content, or lead form text, this is where you change this, right? Down payer assistance. I'm going to just say Fort Lauderdale, and you just go, you do that, and you click it there, and then I think somewhere is where you add the report. I think I didn't create the right one, but there, when you create, yeah, there's so somewhere in here you can upload the report, and maybe it's on page 2. I think it's on page 2, or is it the success page? No, probably page 2. Yeah, basically we're going to send them. Where is that? Where do you might have to ask support. I don't know where this is anymore. We keep moving things. But you can upload that report, Valentina, and when they get the email, they download it from the email. So we're going to hold it for you and stuff like that. So I'm not sure where it is. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a bummer. We moved it, so I don't know where it is anymore. But that's where you do that. And so you can create that your own thing. Okay, you go to advanced options. So it's in advanced options. Oh, autoresponder. Yeah. Attach report. There you go. And you can upload your custom report right here, right? Ideally, we make this easier. It's something we're working on right now. But anyway, now that you created it, right? So now that you've created your report like that, Valentina, you can go over to your ads page and you can say, hey, I want to create a landing page ad. And your custom landing page is down in the custom landing page section. Here's my free seller report in Danville. And there you go. Now, an important thing I'm going to just say to you right now, Valentina, about about running ads, because you're in Florida, and this is unique to Florida, but it's also unique to a lot of different areas. You can target where it says location. I had a client over there in Naples. He was from Chicago, Neil Wolf. We don't talk much about him, but he's a great client. And he was from Chicago, and he would advertise his stuff, his ads for homes in Florida, in Chicago. And sometimes he put like a landing page. I remember he had this awesome landing page with like people walking in the snow, and it was basically like, hey, I've got a condo for sale in Florida. Would you like to check it out, or do you want to hang out for another winter in Chicago? And it was awesome because when they responded, he would just get really, down home real quick. Hey, you get, pizza over there, and is that hot dog place there? Like, he knows Chicago, so he's got a really warm dialogue going on with those leads, even though he's sitting in Florida selling property there. So that's a funny nuanced thing you can do with Facebook ads. But now we've kind of talked about the different things you can do. So guys, any questions? We talked about landing pages, talked about Facebook ads, and we talked about how to market listings. If you get your arms around that, these things that I've shown you, your business is going to grow. I can guarantee that your business will grow. All of these things that I've shown you are the top things that capture leads. There are twice as many tools in here, even more. The more you use, basically, the more nets you got out in the market. Are there any questions about what we've talked about? Are there any questions that you have that I haven't talked about? Let's see here. Retargeting. Oh yeah, you want to learn about retargeting, guys? This was very important. Okay. When you come to the ads page, you're going to see this blue button that says learn more. David, I suggest you log into your account and check that out. There's no way I'm going to fish around here blind and stumble through this myself when I haven't even seen this. Scott and I have been talking about it for 2 months. I didn't even know it was live today. So yeah, once I've gone through it and I've seen it, next time I do this call, I'll kind of explain it to you guys. But yeah, I hate making myself look like a complete moron. So I'm just going to avoid that today. Everybody, this call is being recorded. It's going to be in our mastermind group later today. And thanks for joining me. And I appreciate your questions. I hope this helps you. Get in the mastermind group. Definitely get in the mastermind group. And also, I'm going to send this to you. It looks like we've got more people. Yeah, I'm going to send this to you one more time. Realtors stuck inside with time on your houses. It's on page 5 of our blog post, but I'm going to send this to you because if you'd missed it, it's really helpful. This page that I'm showing you right now will get you. It'll really get you there. And there's 5 videos on here. There's 6. I think if you see the first few, it's going to get a little repetitive. But you're going to know this system. And I'm going to show you one more thing. See if I can get over my email. That's not it. There's really something to be said. Buddy, you better shut your mouth. Sorry, that's my dog. This platform has helped a lot of agents, and I'm going to show you this one here. This guy who I mentioned earlier was a rookie agent. I set up the offices around the country and in Canada. We just got the Smart Group, David. I don't know if you know those guys. The Star Group in Canada. And this agent was one of 300 agents, and he was super green, had only been in the business for 2 years, went from 5 to 20 million in 2 years of annual production. On this call, he tells us 80% of his business was coming from our tools, and he put in 2 hours a week logging into listings to leads, doing work using the tools that I've shown you, running ads on Facebook for 2 hours a week, and went from 5 to 20 million in 2 years. He said he'd put his daughter in ballet, and he would go next door at Starbucks and work for 2 hours, right? Where can I find the page with videos? I just emailed it to you, Valentina. I just emailed it to everybody. So it should be a pop-up. It is on page 5 of our blogs. You're welcome. And it's, yeah, if you're watching this as a recording, it is on page 5. But it's called Realtors Stuck Inside with Time on Your Hands. David, don't forget about the URL showing. It looks like really messy. All right, everybody, take care, keep safe. Keep an eye. We got some awesome stuff coming down this year. The tools that are inside the system right now, they're some of the most powerful in real estate advertising. I know that for a fact. And I know that they're the most affordable. It blows my mind, even today, the fantastic and awesome ways I see agents getting ripped off all over the country. But anyway, thanks so much. Thanks for hanging out with me. Keep safe. Bye-bye.